All right, it's me, Turbo Cellbor, the guy who foolishly put a poll up online thinking people wouldn't choose the thirst trap, and here we are. This is me playing a game called "My Girlfriend is a Mermaid!" Exclamation point question mark. Also, the full title of the game, including the subtitle, is "My Girlfriend is a Mermaid!" Exclamation point question mark. In fairy stories and legends, a mermaid is a woman with a fish's tail instead of legs who lives in the sea, which is a very long freaking title. Wow. So this is 2019 from Tales Shop slash Cozen. I have no idea if this is a knockoff or not. I can tell you it is a thirst trap. It is a game that is primarily geared towards a, shall we say, horny audience. Uh, I'm just gonna go ahead and play from the beginning, and we'll see how that goes. Warn you now, I am gonna make fun of this game because wait, is this the beginning? A waterfall crashes down onto the rocks. Okay. A translucent splash of water fly every which way. Okay, so far so good. A beautiful rainbow reflects itself in the mist. All right, yeah. The moment that I reunite with her for the first time in 10 years is the moment that everything is as good as done. The only thing I can think of is how grateful I am. Grateful to this world for giving me this moment in the first place. I'm gonna assume the viewer is male. An original game. Oh, it's an original game. Developed by Cozen and Gamkin. Games and Kinship. Okay, yeah, so far so good. Ooh. Now this is higher production values than the last visual novel I did, so it should be a little better. So we got Ion, who's a mermaid. We've got Pedako, I can't pronounce it, who's also a mermaid. We've got Rin, who doesn't appear to be a mermaid, but probably is a mermaid. And then, somebody else. Okay, I don't want to be judgmental of, I don't want to be judgmental of, like, this type of music, but I've never been into this. Oh, wow, that's some legs. Okay. Alright, yeah. I never have liked Moe stuff, and I'm also a wish you happiness. I want to tell you how I feel and hide. Oh no. My weakness? Okay, good. Hide my weakness. Don't die with. Oh, hold up! I didn't get a chance to read it. I've never been into kind of the idol style music, and I'm definitely not. I'm not vibing with this. This is gonna be rough. I think it's good though. I think this will be entertaining if nothing else. Alright. Oh look, one problem. He can't breathe underwater. So many brilliant stars. I can't believe I'll be able to see so many of these beautiful stars this home. Oh my god! Too fast! No! I can't keep up! Ah. Okay. So far so good. If you wanted to watch this without commentary, tough cookies, because it's not happening. I only do commentary. That's why people come, to hear my commentary, not to see amazing games be played amazingly. What are your thoughts on childhood friends, which I don't like how they're in quotes? Childhood friend, a noun used to denote Homo sapiens who grow up on good terms and second nature to them, usually refers to the girl who lives next door. But does it? I don't think that. What? No, childhood friend is a okay, whatever. Usually refers to the girl next door. It's a kind of relationship where you both play house, having generally tantalizing back and forth that include "Oh darling" and "Oh honey bun." I had never experienced this. Back when I was young, my mother would drag me along to the women's side of the bath, and I would just happen to run into her. But honestly, it wouldn't really pique my interest. Yeah, because you were a child. Despite it being a woman's bath, a site that is the culmination of every straight man's hopes and dreams, it is also a site that you end up not being able to remember when it actually becomes a necessary element in your life. So seeing my childhood friend naked was no real big deal. Okay, I have many complaints, and I'm gonna just voice them now, so you get to hear me complain about this. Number one, first off, people complain, and this is very common in the U.S. right now that queer people are secretly fetishizing and sexualizing children. Straight people seem to do this an awful lot more, and I am kind of annoyed that this game also brings it up right away. So just gonna point out that that's awful. Number two, oh man, I don't like how it says a necessary element in your life. Like, no. Like nobody needs to fantasize about their friend. You're not required to sexualize somebody. It's not a requirement. Anyway, so yeah, so seeing my childhood friend naked was no real big deal. Yeah, because you were a child. Ugh, God, I already hate this main character in the very first sentence. So there we go. They say that these friends have a habit of doing sweet gestures like walking up to you in the morning or cooking for you, but that's absolutely impossible. Supposing a guy with such a childhood friend does exist, even if they ended up having to prove Newton's third law of motion face first, they would never utter a single complaint. I don't get it. Also, I guess this protagonist is a science guy. And I say guy because I know enough about this story that the protagonist is male. So just gonna throw that out there. And he's very straight. He doesn't have a bisexual bone in his body, which is very sad. In any case, you tend to view them more as a younger or older sister than a member of the opposite sex, which doesn't elicit anything special, truth be told. In fact, it said it's rare for childhood friends to stay on good terms for a long span of time, with the majority of both parties cutting contact by the time they get to middle school. However, the very existence of such a friend helps flowers bloom in every man's crusty and moss-ridden heart. That is the role of childhood. That is the role a childhood friend serves. Okay. Yes, every man has a crusty and moss-ridden heart. Yeah, I'm actually a golem. Uh, it's true. I have a heart made out of stone, and a person has written a magic word on a piece of paper and shoved it in there. And that every cis man you see, that's what it's like. I don't know what it's like for trans men, but I assume that's part of the transitioning process is getting the rock inserted into your chest. It would be no small exaggeration to say that those who have that presence of childhood friend around at the start of their lives start their lives with a leg up. Therefore, a childhood friend is important presence important is an important presence that should be safeguarded, and treating them with little to no regard is just because you're on good terms is simply out of the question. On the contrary, the fact that you both know each I God, just this is so long. Both know each other up and down is even more of a reason to be considerate toward them. Yes, indeed, their very existence is a radiant beacon, and you must treat them with care, as delicately as stroking skin with a feather. That was needlessly sensuous, bro. Also, this person is like not able to acknowledge like we were friends because we were both human children and we were in proximity to each other. Like that's thing. I Or there's gonna be a lot of objectification in this, so I'm just gonna objectification alert. Just gonna just slap that on there. Also, make sure it happens before you even fall into the age-old situation of getting more distant as you get to middle school. Say you get split apart due to your family moving away with those wonderful grade school memories still in your heart. Say you get flashbacks out now and then for whatever reason, and you stroll back to your hometown during summer vacation of your junior year of high school, dramatically reuniting with her. Furthermore, say that same friend remembers my face after a good 10 years and calls out for me. Oh, is this the situation we're about to have happen? Would that be a good enough situation, be good enough to blur the lines between fantasy and reality, wouldn't it? Yes, that's it. That's the situation. Wait, I thought we were gonna get into some visuals. Ugh. That's why I've been having to find myself in such a fantastic situation. Even if my childhood friend were to change just a little bit, I would have to keep an open mind and accept her for who she is. That's a man's job. Her face, her hairstyle, her figure, no matter how much of any of those things may change, I have to be willing to accept them. That's a man's job. Just accept everything. Radical acceptance. As long as I'm a life form with an XY chromosome, not the determining factor of what makes you male, by the way, I naturally have to keep my mind at least that open. I have to be willing to grin and accept things how they are. That's a man's job. Ooh, baby. What if he was an XY male but had SRY translocation and then just like came out female? That's like a thing that happens. No matter how much the change. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I guess that's the change. Number one. Puberty happened, obviously. Number two, coming out of the water, not a lot of clothes. And then number three, she's literally a mermaid now. That's a pretty big change. That's a very big change. Fins, you've got fins. Oh, good. I'm glad that's the first thing he noticed. Hiroto, he's not going to be very observant throughout the rest of this, but he's going to notice that. No matter how much her lower body has turned into a fish. Time to give you a breakdown of the situation childhood friend ever reconnected with after 10 years has cast all other options aside, instead choosing to walk the path of fishdom. Okay, that's genuinely funny. That's shit. So we're at an age where a person can give up their humanity and turn into a fish so long as the persons themselves are willing to do so, huh? Sigh. What do you mean sigh? I mean, come on, it would be fun. You want to become a fish, don't you, Hiroto? You know, swim around. You know how it is. Come on. Man, never underestimate the power. Man, never underestimate the power of science. Yep. Oh. Okay, I don't like this pose. This is making me uncomfortable. I mean, this world runs on science. There's almost nothing that can't be explained by science, even God and the supernatural. I am going to disagree with you, Hiroto. There are some things that science cannot explain, and I can say this as a scientist, that there's some things that are just voodoo and magic, and it's fine. Almost nothing. Before we come to a discussion of a usage of the word almost there, I'd like to have a discussion about that tail and those fins of yours in the meantime. Wait. Remind me, what was your name again? Oh. Out of nowhere, the sky above jumps into my line of sight. Next thing I know, I find myself making out with the ground. Gross, dude. Don't do that in your own home. Keep it indoors. I don't want to see that. I don't need to know about your ground-loving lifestyle. Be careful, darn it. You know there's a waterfall around behind us. If there were any knockback on that blow, I'd be making out with a waterfall instead of the ground right about now. Also, I guess she hit him because... I tried taking a good look around me while wiping off my fogged up glasses with my sleeve. Oh, he's got fogged up glasses. Judging it from how my childhood friend is waving that tail of hers around, the chances of me getting hit by the huge fishtail sparkling beautifully in the sun is approximately 84.7%, with a plus or minus 5% margin of error. I guess he's a science boy. Hiroto loves science, and that's what happens when you're good at science, is you spend your time calculating the probability of things. It's a little fishy spelling right now. I'll bump up the chances by 5%. You forgot my name? Oh, I guess they talk? I didn't intend for them to talk in this one. This is gonna be... I don't speak Japanese, so... Whatever, this is an English language channel. Oh, what's in a name anyway? There's so many people who use nicknames, you know. As long as I can tell one person apart from another, then honestly, a name really serves no function. It's about personalization, dude. I don't think you really see Ion. This is the character, Ion, I don't think that's how it's pronounced, but I'm going to pronounce it Ion because I'm bad at reading. You forgot, didn't you? True, but like I think there's a depersonalization element that happens and an objectification element that's going on in Hiroto's brain. So we'll see how this goes. I did. I'm gonna slug you again. Okay, don't do that. Violence is probably not the answer in this situation. Whoa, wait, I remember now. Don't hit me, please, I beg you, Ion Koma-san. Koma-san? 0.74 seconds before I have another makeout session with the ground, my memory miraculously comes back to me. Oh yeah, don't ever underestimate the power of the human mind when face to face with danger. Nevertheless, the angle she swings her tail is downright crazy. If I ate another blow like that again, I'd be saying a bitter farewell to my beloved glasses, the same pair that have been with me through hell and high water right now. Oh, he's got glasses, does he? Is Hiroto a nerd? Does he like science? Ha! I guess it's a sigh. What's the matter? The lady that's fish from the waist down. You mean your friend? You can use her name. Wags her tail in dissatisfaction. While her pretty tail can be construed as a fake or a prop, looking at it close up would certainly make you think otherwise, as the light makes it glisten all the colors of the rainbow. Maybe she's a goldfish. So first off, let's try thinking about it in a rational, scientific way. Okay. How in the world did things end up like this? Yeah, that's probably the first question you should have asked. Like, holy crap, why do you have a tail? It all started about 1 month ago once I started my junior year summer vacation. It felt something coursing inside of me. Mother Nature was calling me. What? Wait. I thought we were going to hear Ion's backstory. Oh my god, Hiroto, your head is so far up your ass that you can like see out your mouth. What the heck? It's like a Mobius strip. Maybe it was a matter of me once living in the countryside, albeit 10 years ago. Or maybe it was my high school science curriculum stirring something inside of me. Heck, it could even have been the backlash of school life keeping me bound to the big city. Whatever the reason was, I wanted to indulge in nature's splendors. So once I heard that our house we left 10 years ago in the countryside was still intact to this day, I ended up losing control of myself. I don't want to hear your goddamn backstory, Hiroto. I want to hear how Ion turned into a fish. By the time I settled down and came to my senses, I already found myself on my own in the countryside. I had ignored the pleas of my parents trying to stop me, leaving my cell phone behind and bringing myself back to nature. No, don't, Hiroto. You're a high schooler and you're way too horny to go outside. Yeah, Hiroto's just awful. Oh, I hope nobody samples that audio for nefarious purposes. Thus is how I find myself dropping in my hometown for the first time in 10 years. After saying hello to the elderly neighborhood folks that I have some vaguely remember. Okay, translation in this is a lot better, but there will occasionally be snafus. Alright, after saying hello to the elderly neighborhood folks I have some vaguely remember, I go off to explore the mountain-enclosed ravine where I used to catch frogs for fun at the time. As I head toward the summit, I depict nature's splendor using some rather trite descriptors that I would never dare utter under normal circumstances. Like what? And that's some no, that's just lazy writing. I don't like you, Hiroto. I don't like you, and you should just drop out of high school and write manga or something. That's when I learned that I unexpectedly reconnect with my. That is when I unexpectedly reconnect with my old childhood friend after a lengthy 10-year absence. Okay, yeah. As for what follows, Ion has evolved herself into a fish. Yeah. Before I start asking questions about this and that, at any rate, would you mind coming up here? I'm a land mammal, so I don't do the water. Yeah, I know. Oh. Ion tries desperately to climb up the crag. It's a far cry from her elegant moves in the water and seems to be having a pretty rough time. Yeah, dude, you seem a little more adaptable in this situation. Maybe you should go down in the water, little whiny boy. It feels gross growing around in a wet skirt. Why not take it off the... Oh my god. Okay. Agreed. Agreed. What? She strips off her skirt and casts it aside. What are you doing? I shut my eyes just in case. Cripes, indecent exposure right in broad daylight, though. She's half fish, dude. You're not gonna see anything you want to see. Scratch the indecent part. Ion's frantic rock climbing session eventually lands her goal. Now I have the idea how prehistoric life forms must have looked when they first started life on dry land. I'm not going to include this, but the most likely type of life form to first crawl up on dry land was probably horseshoe crabs, and they continue to do it. It doesn't look that bad because they're used to walking along the bottom of the ocean too, and swimming. It's really quite amazing. Ion languidly sits across a rock, bringing her tail up and down all the while. Her posture is practically telling all those beautiful and reserved mermaid princesses to go kiss her rear end. Okay. Alright. Then again, her very existence is already asking a world of modern biology to kiss her. Wow. Big, beautiful fish bum. That's going to be a short. No, it's not. No, we're not going to turn that into a short. If people find this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I don't know why I did this. The tail and the fins, are they real? You're not convinced? Yeah. I mean, I feel a certain degree of proof is in order here, you know? Will touching it help convince you? Ah. Yeah, okay, let's touch I touch. What? The heck? She hit him for touching her when she asked it. Okay. Why? On the corner of a rock, I banged my shin right on it. God, I would have been even better if I met lips with the ground again. Glasses. I need my glasses. I'm a nerd. Why did you hit me? Yeah, why did you? I say in rebuttal, depending on the situation, I won't be taking scientific measures, but legal ones.
触らないで。
You... I guess she didn't say touch me. It was implied, but she didn't actually say it. So, I mean, there's that. Kind of.
言ってない。
Yeah, she's right. Okay. Eh. Don't ready your tail for another swing, darn it. I mean, Hiroto, while I would have picked that up from the conversation, it was not directly or explicitly stated. And so maybe we just need to accept that that was not the case. Speaking of which, she naturally defaults to her tail when she attacks instead of her hands. No doubt she's tossed away any inkling of her human dignity by the wayside. Also, I'm begging you here, please put on your skirt. I don't care how much of a fish you are. It's still...
と魚性愛者?
Yeah, Hiroto, are you an ichthyophile? I really hope that this does not turn into a game of ichthyophilia. Because it's not sexy. I'm not, no, I'm not. God, just put your skirt back on. She picks up the wet skirt she stripped off and left a nearby patch of rocks. Putting it back on, how? It must separate or something, because that's going to be really hard to get on over the fishtail. Yeah, I'll have to serve to mitigate the immoral feeling I'm getting around here a few degrees. An immoral feeling. So... I can see Aya taking a serious expression, for her gaze suddenly shifts toward the ground. Seeing her do this is giving me flashes to her back in the day. Still, that tail has an overwhelming presence about it. It's doing a good job at expressing her identity as a fish. Okay, what a weird sentence. Can you explain what in the world happened to you, preferably in 50 words or less? Oh my god, Hiroto, what? Oh my god! I want to hear about how this happened, and you're like, I don't want to talk about this. Just tell me what happened in 50 words or less. What the fuck? Hiroto needs to like, God, I don't know what he needs, but he needs to get out of this situation.
人魚になった。
I became a mermaid. Yes, I'm aware. Did she hear it as 10 words or
成
less?
長期?
Had a growth spurt? So you call turning into a fish a growth
進
spurt.
化した。
I evolved. So you're calling turning from Homo sapiens into Homo piscis evolution. I mean, Homo? That's what you decided to fixate on? Pretty weird she's so oddly quick to react to that one part of the phrase and nothing else.
新しい私に生
I
まれ
was
変わったの。
reincarnated into a new body. What? Yes, quite. It seems you were reincarnated into lower half for sure.
Oh,
Okay, that's
何
kind
も
of funny.
怖くない。
I have nothing to fear anymore. Wait. I feel like you've clearly gained more. You should be fearing. What the heck is she's not afraid anymore anyway? H2O? Ion suddenly jumps in the water. She swims, kicking up water in her wake. I would like to see this, but I guess I'm not allowed. When she does a loop-de-loop in the air, her moves simulate a dolphin's to the T. She's moving crazy fast. That's incredible. She could probably breeze through an Olympic event. Does she ever bump her head or anything, I wonder? Okay, pwa pwa. Whoa. I clap my hands, giving her generous applause. All joking aside, that's incredible. She may be half fish, but her pulling off such amazing acrobatics is probably possible because a good percentage of her lower body is pure muscle. Accurate.
死ぬかと思った。
I thought I was a goner. It's doing that
息
difficult.
するの。
I forgot to breathe. Oh, Ion. That underwater can't breathe. I wonder if the more you evolve in the mermaid, the more basic human functions and even your metabolism degenerates. Actually, no, actually, she can not breathe underwater, even though she has those gill-looking things on the sides of her cheeks. Are those gills? I guess. It's hard. It's covered in hair. Are those gills just for show, like a human
で
appendix?
きる。
I can breathe through my gills. Then why were you on death's door?
息するの。
She told you. She forgot to breathe, Hiroto. God. Question. Seems she really forgot, and it seems her brain is degenerated to gold. Oh, duh. I do not like this. Do not like you, Hiroto, and I hope that you trip and fall and break your glasses. It's scary she's made it this far. There are a lot of examples of life forms having faults in sustaining themselves and getting weeded out of the evolutionary process, but then again, this is basically how she's always been. Ion once again crawls her way out of the water. I don't know how she's always been because you've done nothing to establish her character other than now she is a mermaid and she's kind of ditzy, I guess. Her tail with its thin pattern of dots sparkles brightly. Such pretty scales. What species of fish is she?
め
So, huh?
豆
Mass. Mass?
やめ
Masu. Come again. What does Masu mean? Did she say Masu? Oh, Maso. I have no idea what that is. Oh, that's the type of fish she is. A cherry salmon. Okay. I know nothing about fish. A salmonidae, the salmoniforms order, the primary live in cold water and areas of upper streams of rivers. Their diet consists of smaller fish, crustaceans, and insects that they're breeding in season at the beginnings of the fall. Adults only get to be about 20 centimeters big, also called the queen of mountain rivers. It's celebrated as the top class fish, often characterized by its beautiful streamlined figure and the dots lining its body called par marks. Okay, that's great. We did that one really quick because I don't think anybody cares about that. This is not educational. This is not an educational game. I have a rather thorough knowledge about Maso salmon. Anyway, I used to fish a lot when I was a kid after all, but still. Who's Masu? I am. I'm not sure what expression I should be making in a situation like this. No, hold up. Okay, I admit, asking a mermaid what kind of fish they are is sort of odd, but a mermaid being a Maso salmon, mermaids are supposed to live in the sea, yet here she is a freshwater Maso salmon. Salmon actually go back and forth in color alone. Oh, okay. Seems like she doesn't have much to do with Masu outside the color. Yeah, figures. Being a mermaid alone is already enough to threaten the ecosystem, so if there were a mermaid for each individual fish, then things would get out of hand. Now that she mentions that her tail and fins are all wrong for the Masu salmon, I would know since I've eaten them in the past. This isn't the pattern they're supposed to be in. Oh, why didn't you know that before? Besides, why did she end up evolving into a river-dwelling mermaid anyway? You think of mermaid, when you think mermaid and you think of them being in the ocean. Do they have no other options in order to sustain themselves? Maybe this just means the laws of nature just go far beyond anything the human mind can imagine. Oh, I will admit I would not have imagined mermaids, except we did. We did imagine those. Because the longer you live, the more complicated things get. Oh, Hiroto, you figured it out. You got it. You got it. It is more complicated. Sorry, talking to myself. Well, ain't that just... mermaids are real. Well, ain't that just the way? She bangs her tail on the ground, looking slightly pouty. With her lower body shaking, it naturally travels its way upward, making her top half shake as well. Uh-oh. Are we gonna hear about boob jiggle? Huh? Uh-oh. Hiroto saw something that awakened his desires. Huh? Oh no, Hiroto fainted from his desire. I step back in a knee-jerk reaction. I feel my glasses sliding off my face, so they push them back up with my middle finger. I've been so distracted by her tail this whole time, I never even noticed she's been dripping head to toe with water. Except she doesn't have toes, she doesn't have feet, she ain't have no legs, bro. No legs. Her tunic? Is that what she was wearing? It's soaked up a ton of water. It's practically clinging to her body. On top of that, the front of it is wide open and you can sort of see inside, which leaves me to believe that Ion isn't wearing a bra, which I assume he meant to say a breastplate, a piece of armor that is very effective at preventing injury to the chest. Also, she's not wearing a bra. We can see that. Yeah. Aya comes closer with a confused expression on her face. A man who knew that H2O and polyester could make such a beautiful combination. God, I don't like you, Hiroto. But you know, more importantly, Ion used to be a runt, but I have to give praise to her genes helping her mature so wonderfully over these last 10 years. Well, the whole thing turning into a fish aside, don't go with Hiroto, Ion. He's an asshole, and you should just stay the hell away from him. Ah, crap, water vapor is fogging my glasses. Huh? Ion approaches me while wagging her tail around. Quit shaking it. You'll jiggle. Okay, I don't want to see this. Okay, fine. She scuttles toward me. Oh my god, Hiroto saw a boob once, and it caused him to, like, die of an aneurysm. How sad. I step backwards. She scuttles closer towards me. Maybe she'll talk. I step back even farther. Stay back. Quit doing that, darn it. I'm doing this for your own good. That's when Ion's expression suddenly changes as if she realized something while she's making her approach towards me. You don't like me? Honestly, Ion, he's not worth it. He's not worth it. Huh?
私が
It's because I'm
ヤ
a
マメだから
Masu. Yeah, that's the main reason. I'm worried about being her Masu salmon, more so than her being half fish. Anyway, aside from the solid close-up of your front, my eyes have nowhere else to look, go but here, there. Right now, it's catching my interest in a very intense and scientific way. Yeah, whatever, Hiroto. You lecherous little boy. Can't stand you. No, it's fine. Not only do Masu salmon not cause harm to humans, but I don't hate you. But she's jiggling. She comes even closer to me. She's jiggling. No, stop. This fish, she's a type of fish, a ray-finned bony fish. What? This is a fish here. She's a type of fish, a telos, a ray-finned bony fish. Let me process this for a second. Whether she's fish or human, what's the big deal as long as she's beautiful either way? And thus he became a pescophile. Why in the world have I tried to turn this treatment down? Is this where you let your instincts take over and settle things in one fell? No, I can't. I dunk my head into the river. Okay, Hiroto is so confusing. He's definitely quite misogynist, and he's like weirdly doesn't care about his friend. But like, also he's like, no, I can't be attracted to you. Let me dunk my head in water. I dunk my head into the river. The water vapors fogging my glass temporarily wash. Oh, sorry. Water vapors fogging my glasses temporarily wash away, but it is soon replaced by a second and third wave of vapors fogging them up even more. Talk about your close calls. Protecting and preserving the beauty of nature is our duty as human beings, and I almost did something insane that would have destroyed that delicate balance. What? Like what? I regain my composure and lift my head. Ah! Huh?
うん
Okay. Ion jumps back in the water. I have a feeling she's in a bit of a sulky mood. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. I know her face doesn't show much of a tell, but maybe that actually isn't the case, at least in my humble opinion. Maybe the way I've been looking at her was bad after all. Either way, proving my innocence is priority number one. Innocence about what? What are you supposed to be Yeah, dude, it's a mermaid, which is all like aside from like ancient Greek culture, mermaids are supposed to be thirst traps. Actually, honestly, even in ancient Greece, they're thirst traps. Like literally, like, oh man, let's go to that singing and then crash the boat and die. Like, it's okay, man. It's okay. Don't worry, I didn't look at you or have any perverse fantasies or fall for your smooth wet skin, and I definitely don't think, boy, she sure grew up fantastically. Not in the least, not for a bit, not one iota, not for a second. And that's where I would definitely get away from this creepazoid. Stop. I see your tail whip right at me, so I take the matrix position and dodge it in an almost artistic angle. Haha, after school clubs trained my body well so I could dodge any tawdry attack like that in my sleeve. Her swinging tail in the water produces a ridiculously tall wave which descends upon me, hitting me with a water type attack. That's downright unfair. I don't like this. This isn't interesting. In the end, I share a bitter farewell with my glasses. Swallowed by the tremendous wave, I take a plunge to the ground.